So this is my review and kind of reaction to Attack on Titan chapter 136. I'm really late on this, but I started writing a script and it just did not work out. I did not like it at all, so I'm just gonna freestyle off the dome. And sorry if I stumble on words or anything, but the first thing that we get to realize and see that is that the Jaw Titan can fly. I don't know if this happened in other past users, but as to people's reactions, it seems that this is the first time people have ever seen it or it's ever been recorded in like history. And we get reasoning as to why Annie, Gabby, and Falco are here. It's because the Azwin Mito chip sunk from what's his name? Falco's transformation. And Mikasa asks Andy to help her to get Armin back. And so the scouts are basically just now explaining their plan to Annie and Gabby, what they were trying to do to stop Eren. And they're in this predicament where they don't know which one to go for first. To go for first. They don't know whether or not to go to the nape and explode it or to get Armin. They're really kind of between. But Levi breaks this discussion by just saying we're gonna do both. One group will rescue Armin and one group will attack the nape. We'll do it simultaneously, he says. And they realize that they're in a place that they can no longer just talk it out with Eren and just take him back and talk to him and then, oh, everything will be over. No, they have to kill him because there's no other way. Levi, even though Levi is heartless, it seems, and cold, he still has this feeling towards Eren, and he doesn't want to kill him necessarily, but he's ready to. As he says, there's a lot of things he wanted to tell him, but he doesn't have, they don't have the time, they don't have anything, and they gotta do this now. Mikasa, of course, is, how do you say it? Like, not fully ready to comprehend this, and she's not ready to do all this right now. She does not want to kill Eren. She still loves and cares for Eren. But Annie focuses Mikasa's attention on Armin and tells her not to think about anything else. Gabby is a very observant character, observing everything that's around her, and as she's in Paradise Island, she's questioning what's happening. Why is everyone doing this? They're just normal people. Why are we always fighting each other? And this comes into play as she realizes that when she shot Eren's head off, something jumped out of Eren's spine and it looked like a centipede or something, and it connected it to his head. So they think that they can blow off the nape and then cut that, and then that will be the founding titan, and then that will then kill Eren. So then we see a couple panels of this Eldian group kind of like rebelling, or kind of like they're rebelling because they have guns and they're ready to fight the Marleyans, which I don't know why this was here, but it's kind of represents, like, this is kind of good in a way after I read it a couple times. Excuse me. This adds in that just because, we see all this mass destruction, we're all basically the same, we all live the same fate, that we can't just forgive and forget. It takes a while. It takes years. Like, it takes time to heal those wounds and to really just forgive. And they debate about it. They don't know really what to do. Then we get then we get back to the scouts, and I think, Jean comments on it, saying they really cannot stop killing each other. Falco rushes towards the Warhammer Titans, which are trying to stop them, and we see a panel of Aaron. We haven't seen that much of Aaron, that much. It's just like a panel. We get a small panel of him just looking. That's really it. But we get Jean and Reiner jumping down to go help, to go blow up the nape. And they kind of care for Reiner as they beg him not to die. And Reiner also tells him the same. And then we get to Jean, who's just kind of like barreling towards the nape to detonate it. And then we see Piek get out of the cart Titan and run down the Warhammer Titan's pitchfork, basically. And then she transforms into the cart Titan again and bites the nape. Then she gets caught again, bites the nape, bites another nape, gets out, which this just shows just how versatile she is, and kind of gives her a better character instead of just being like a reconnaissance and just being in the cart Titan, which she, with her durability, makes sense because now she's able to just always come in, come out, come in, come out as many times as she pleases. And then we get to Eddie and Mikasa and Connie going down to find Armin. And then we get a couple pages in this internal monologue from Levi asking where Zeke is. And this is very important for Levi's character, as he's seen as very cold and he doesn't really get that much development, but he still feels this need to fulfill this order from Erwin to kill Zeke and to avenge his death, as he got the kids to the sea and he just questions what they were doing. What was his purpose of being a scout? And why everyone had to devote their hearts and why everyone had to die. What was the real meaning behind it? But he says himself, he has no regrets about choosing Armin as the next successor and to entrust the future to him, as he had the same look in his eyes as Armin had the same look in his eyes as Erwin, which I think was very cool and a good thing for his character. So then we get this really cool segment where Annie sticks out her hand and Mikasa puts a little grapple in it and then flings forward, which allows her to just barrel forward and slay a bunch of Titans. And then she gets caught by a Titan with armor. Her blades break, but Annie saves her at the last second. And we see that the pig is heading for Berthold, right? And which could mean that they're going to feed Armin to Berthold, and then Berthold will come back. I don't know how that's going to work. But then we see Armin crouched over his body, lifeless, and begging his own body to move, as everyone's going to die. Everyone. Reiner, Piek, Jean, Connie, Mikasa, Annie, all of them will die. And he calls himself a piece of trash, filthy bastard, useless idiot. And he tells him he hates him. he hates him, and just everything. He hates everything about himself, as he feels that nothing is ever good enough, and he's never been good enough, as he has all these expectations, all these responsibilities, and he's never been able to return them, as he was chosen over Erwin, and which places a lot of responsibility on him getting chosen over the leader of the scouts, the commander of the scouts. And he begs himself to move, but as he squeezes his hand, he realizes that there's sand, and he instantly connects the dots. And as to that, it is path. And he looks up and he sees the tree of Ymir, I don't really know. I never really understood it, but he realizes that he just has to think and he'll be able to do something. He'll be able to save everyone. And then we see Zeke building a sandcastle, or just playing with the sand, which shows that he has no control over his beast titan, and that he's just stuck in path, which means that if Ymir eats you, you get stuck in path, which I don't know if you're able to get out or what you're able to do. They greet each other, and the chapter ends with Zeke saying, "So Ymir ate you too," which I think Zeke in a way feels betrayed by Ymir, as he created this plan and Eren outsmarted him and had his plan work in favor. Overall, I'm not really good at explaining ideologies or any of that stuff. If I know about it, then I'll speak about it, and if I notice it. But overall, this chapter was very interesting, as we see Mikasa having to come with terms with killing Eren, and Levi struggling within himself, questioning, was everything that he did up to this point in the scouts really worth it, and what truly matters to him. And showing Armin unleashing, just kind of expressing his emotions, his thoughts onto himself. But I mean, nobody can really blame him. You get all this responsibility placed on you. I mean, you get chosen to be this replacement for the commander. Your life was chosen over his, and you have this new, and now you can turn to a titan, and you have all this responsibility, but you don't know how to handle all of it, as he's still kind of a kid. But I wonder how Zeke and Armin are going to work together to get out of paths and basically save the world. Because I think Armin can think of a plan immediately, and then, because I think from paths, you can control all Eldians or something. I don't know, maybe they can tap into the power of Ymir or something, but they don't have the founding titan though, so that wouldn't really work. Anyway, that's kind of my thoughts on that, but hopefully they explain that more in the next chapter. I was really late on this. I meant to do it early, but I think the chapter came out on a Sunday, so I couldn't do it, and I had exams the whole week, and I had to study for that, so couldn't do any of that. But I'll be covering the rest of Attack on Titan until it ends in April. It's my favorite manga / anime series. It's so good. And tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, I will have the My Hero Academia Chapter 297 review out, and then I'm also going to be narrating some scary stories, so I've been looking on the lookout for those. Anyways, sorry to ramble on at the end. I don't really know how to end these videos, never really been good at it. But leave some tips down in the comments if you want to see me do more of these, and leave some tips so I know what to do, what to talk about, and how to just better this. So yes, See you guys in the next video.